All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Home Studio Simplified HSS Song Contest. Listen together. Say that 3 times fast. So yeah, it's been a while since we've done one of these, mainly just because we were finishing up an actual mix contest, which I hope everyone had a lot of fun with that. Congratulations to the winners again. You guys rock. Had a lot of awesome submissions, but we're going to go ahead and continue on now with what we normally do every single month, and that is the song contest. So every month we have one of these, unless we change it out for a mixed contest. And at the start of each month, the submissions are opened up again, and on the last week of the month, we all come together on a live stream and we listen to the songs that have been submitted. Now this time it's going to be a little bit different. This is not the last week of the month, but we're trying to get a jump start on this because we had quite a few submissions. But with that being said, this awesome community of audio lovers and myself will then all provide feedback on the songs, and we'll offer up some friendly suggestions on how you can then improve them. So after a few days, I will choose a winner from the pool, and then the winner will receive a free mix and master from yours truly with 3 revisions included. In most cases, we even do these live so that everybody can benefit from them. Now, if you want to get in on the fun, I've already seen some questions here in the chat. How do I submit a song? It's super simple. You can either follow the link in the description of this video that will take you straight to the song contest page, or you can just simply go to 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. At the very top of the page, you'll see a link up there that says Song Contest, Monthly Song Contest. So if you're interested in joining in, there are some rules that do apply, and if those rules are not adhered to, your song will not be chosen. They're just really simple things, nothing too crazy. But if this is your first time here, you're wondering, well, what's all this all about? This channel literally exists to simplify the complexities of the home studio and to help you make professional sounding music in a less than professional space. The motto around here is that we can dream alone, we can even create alone, but together we can achieve so much more. And speaking of achieving more, we couldn't achieve anything if it wasn't for these awesome individuals. So thank you to our VIP members who have taken advantage of probably the most that you can take advantage of here on the channel as far as getting perks in return for your monetary blessing of this channel. And VIP members, they get access to exclusive content. They get access to a ton of freebies, royalty-free multi-tracks that they can add to their portfolio, as well as the raw track reaction videos without commercials and an extra 10, sometimes even 15 minutes of me analyzing the song, dissecting it, and talking about how we can apply that then to our own personal productions. So thank you so much to the VIP members. Thank you to my YouTube membership supporters. If you become a YouTube membership supporter, you will get access to my Cakewalk themes, and I believe a couple of other things. But basically it's just a way to show support for the channel, and it's a monthly donation of whatever you set, whatever amount you set there. And the same goes for our Patreon supporters. So we have a silver tier at $10, a bronze tier at $5, and a base tier at $1 a month. Thank you guys so much. Regardless of whether you're given 10, 20, or even $1 a month, every bit of it is much appreciated. And then last but not least, we have our super chatters here at the bottom. These are individuals who have donated one time through the super chat feature that you see in the chat section. As you're typing your messages to send to the chat, you should see a small, looks like an S symbol or a money symbol. You can tap that, and at any time during this live stream, you can donate some money that way as well. You guys rock. Thank you so much. And for those of you who are into mixing, selling producers, and with the resources available on the ProMix Academy, you can learn how to create radio-ready mixes from the comfort of your own home studio. Most of the courses also offer multi-tracks that you can then add to your portfolio and begin to build out your business. Follow the link in the description of this video to head on over to the ProMix Academy today and start learning the skills that are needed to take your hobby or your business to the next level. All right, folks, welcome back. Man, it feels like it has been forever since we've had one of these. And with all due respect, it has been. So with that being said, though, we do have quite a few submissions today. I've got 20 in total, possibly 21. I have to check on the 21st submission because it looks like it might be a humdinger. But with that being said, looks like we have also our longest submission coming in at 5 minutes and 48 seconds long. So whenever we do these song submissions for the challenges, we have a wide variety of songs that are submitted. So it doesn't have to be a particular genre. It doesn't have to be, you know, there's no real rules to this other than the fact that it needs to be a clean song, no vulgarity, no profanity. And it also needs to be something that's not going to receive a copyright strike. So it can't be a song that's already been previously released unless you're going to white label it ahead of time to where the channel will not get a copyright strike. So with that being said, let's dive over here to the desktop so that you can see exactly what we got to work with today. And we're just going to work our way down from the top like we normally would. Boom, boom, ba-doom, boom. And I will pull up the backstories here so we can check that out. By the way, for those of you who have joined in, it appears that we have 20 concurrent viewers as of right now, and we only have 6 likes. Make sure that you're hitting that like button because it's free and it helps the channel. Would greatly appreciate that. So without further ado, I mean, we're going to dive right into this stuff today. No hanky-panky, no messing around. We're getting into the thick of it. So the first song that we are looking at, let me set this up to where I can actually okay. Gotta make sure I can actually read it all. So the first one we're looking at is called Temples of Our Own. The artist name is Indie Soul. And here's some info about it. He says the acoustic guitar is played live. The bass is performed live too. The vocals are layered for the chorus with some ad-libs thrown in towards the end. And the percussion conga is a live sample loop. The Halloween sound effects are also made from a sample reel. All right. So now we already know what we're up against here. We got some, there we go, looks better. We got possibly some spooky music going on. So that's pretty cool. I am going to be trying to look at the chat when I can. So hopefully I don't miss anything. If you have a question or a concern or anything like that, you can always use the super chat feature, even at like 99 cents, I think is the lowest you can go. And it will force me to see whatever comment it is that you're putting up on the screen. It's like on my end, it puts it up like a big bold, like, look at me. So it's another incentive for wanting to use that as well. All right, let's check this out.
I'll take you where the sun goes. I'll take you where the wind blows. I'll take you where the wine flows. I'll take you where the falcon calls. I'll lead you out of darkness, and you can even harness the conflicting emotions inside. It's alright. Building temples of our own this time. Watch them crumbling into the sea. But leave a little room for me. I say the things that you see. I say a little bit for a stranger right there, yeah. Or write a eulogy. Leave a little room for me. I say the things that you see. I say a little bit for a stranger out there, yeah. Or write a eulogy. I can have your favor. Or we can turn the tables.
Very cool.
Say that you're unable, a little unstable. And will the heavens understand? So white lies can where that truly begin. So let us in. Building temple of our own time. Watch them crumbling into the sea. that you see. I say a little bit for a stranger out there, yeah. Or write a eulogy. Leave a little room for me. I say the things that you see. I say a little bit for a stranger out there, yeah. Or write a eulogy. Don't you wonder? Leave a little room now. Leave a little room, yeah. Leave a little room for me. You just got to leave a little room now. Leave a little room, yeah. Leave a little room for me. Leave a little room for me. I say the things that you say. I say a little bit so stand right, yeah. Or write a eulogy. Leave a little room for me. I say the things that you see. I say a little bit more stand right, yeah. Or write a eulogy.
Okay, very cool. I'm a big fan of using sound effects within music. I love doing that. This one definitely had some good usage of sound effects. The one thing I would say is that the sound effects were just a little bit, like way too low, I should say, not a little bit, like way too low versus when the song came in. So for the casual listener, what would have happened is they would have reached over, grabbed their volume button, turned that up and been like, I can't hear what's going on. And then all of a sudden the song would have came in and it would have blown their eardrums out, which can cause people to get a little angry. So I would change that a little bit, maybe even that out just a bit. If you want it to be just a bit quieter, that's completely fine. But yeah, make those a little bit louder. I also love the fact that you used a lot of groove elements. As someone here in the chat has already said, it's very, very groovy. With that being said, this break in the middle where things kind of like died down and it almost sounded as if somebody was leaving the room or something and then coming back into the room, that was kind of cool. It caught me off guard. So if it was something that you were going for, it worked. As far as the balancing of the instrumentation and everything like that, I couldn't hear a lot of the low end, a lot of the bass elements. It seemed very high frequency heavy. Nothing wrong with that. If it's a pop type song, you're gold. And then I heard a little bit of some sibilance on the vocals that probably could have been touched up a bit. Other than that, though, the production itself and the way that everything sounded and how it all congealed together was not too bad at all. So good job. All right. And next up we have, it says 𝗧𝗵𝗲. And this one, it says, the title of the track is called Leaving Austin. This is my newest single, and it's out on all platforms. More music is coming soon. I don't think this is the right. Yeah, that's what it says. Okay, so hopefully this song is whitelisted. If it's not, it will either be cut, as in people will not be able to hear it, or if it has been whitelisted, they'll be able to hear it and no copyright strikes will happen. So just FYI, if you submit something and it's not whitelisted, like it gets a copyright strike, 9 times out of 10, I just go back and immediately cut that portion of the video out, because monetization from YouTube is one of the only ways, well, other than the VIP memberships and all that, these videos have to be monetized. Otherwise, we can't keep doing these. In fact, because I came down with COVID a couple of months back, or last month, my accounts literally are depleted. So I need every bit of money that I can possibly get just to stay afloat. So I appreciate if you would in the future just whitelist your songs. It's super simple. If you're using something as awesome as DistroKid, which if you're not, you need to check it out. It's $20 a year. If you use the link that's in the description of this video, you can even get an extra 7% off for signing up through my link, for me leading you to them. So for the first year, you can get, like, I think it's like $19 or 17 something dollars. And you can submit songs all day long, and they push it out to every online aggregator for you. They do all the work. You just simply pay $20 a year and upload songs. It's super cool. But they actually have a feature on there where you can whitelist your songs if you want them to be able to be played on YouTube videos or reaction videos or whatever it might be. So yeah, let's go ahead and give this song a listen. DistroKid is awesome. Yes, yes it is. All right, let's check it.
Well, and they've been asking me why. I say it's complicated, sedated, wasted now. But lately I'm running out of options, I'm losing my mind. So far, that's all I think about. She got a quarterback home, now it's not just what I asked for. And I know I got it backwards, and I know, well I know, and I know, well I get it right now. I got to change, I know, but I've been feeling pretty good now. Sick of thinking about the people I'm dealing with, but hopping little problems so it'll be easy to fix. I threw a couple of the throwbacks in a mix, and they are classics, so they always gonna hit. They've been asking me why. I say it's complicated, sedated, wasted now. But lately I'm running out of options, I've been losing my mind. So far, that's all I think about. Well I just wanna rock and roll. That rush is what I'm after. Slow it down, then make it faster. And I know, well I know, and I know, well I get it right now. I got to change, and I know, but I just started feeling good. So why, I say it's complicated, sedated, wasted now. But lately I'm running out of options, I've been losing my mind. So far, that's all I think about. That's all I think about.
Very cool. Very cool. Very, very modern sounding. I liked it. There were some elements in the background that I feel like could have been brought up a little bit more, and that could have been just the simple addition of adding a very transparent limiter to the entire mix, like at the end of the chain, or simply just turning up those elements in the mix if you can have access to those tracks to do that. As far as the stylistic choices that were made in the music, I feel like there should have been a lot more low end. Maybe even like some 808s. But yet again, that's a stylistic choice. That's nothing that I can make. The groove and the feel of the song, though, definitely played well to the style of music. So great job on that. Keep up the good work, man. All right, next up is Phoenix by Eric Johnson. He says, this song is about my mom going through a tough time here in Pennsylvania, which resulted in her driving cross country to Arizona about a decade ago. She doesn't stay in Phoenix, but the song sort of touches on the phoenix rising from the ashes symbolism, as she started a new life over there. The guitar used is an Epiphone Les Paul standard going through a now archaic Digitech RP500 to my DAW Reason 12, where everything was recorded, mixed, and mastered. The drums came from our metal drum track I found on YouTube that fit my song idea so well that I couldn't go without it. Very cool. All right, let's give this a listen.
Find reasons to search for something new. Relocate the happiness in you. Reach outward toward the never-ending void. Put a new perspective into view. at what you've done. Ignition on, you press the gas to run away from abuse that you once knew, escaping from the cold abysmal truth. Pointed it towards the fuse. The fire envelops on your heart. Extinguish the flame before another starts.
Nice. If you found those drums on YouTube and they fit the song that well, that's uncanny. I really did love the drum track, man. It was just right in the pocket. It was smoking. I would have loved to have heard some more bass, helping to really get that up to speed as far as where it needed to be, giving it that drive and that backbone element. I also would have probably opted for some type of tape compression on the overheads, especially, or at least to tame the cymbals down a bit much. But other than that, wow, that really all gelled together very well. As far as the vocals, I feel like there should have been, they seem to be setting on top but separated, if you know what I mean. Like, I feel like they should have been nestled into the mix a little bit more. And that could have been a situation where a little bit of reverb slapped on there, or maybe even, I feel like there should have been like some detuning, some kind of vocal grit added, especially for this genre of music. But yeah, other than that, a lot of the guitar work and everything like that was spot on. I think when the lead guitar came in, it needed something that it was missing. There was like, yet again, it was kind of like the vocals where it was just poking out too much, like setting two on top. Whereas, you know, it needed to be kind of nestled into the mix a little bit better. But other than that, got a good little tune going on there. So sounds great. Says there is no bass guitar. Yeah, that's what I was. Perhaps the kick is a bit too loud. I'm listening through studio monitors. Great tune. Great guitars, great drums, but feel the sonic if each kind not gel as well as they could, but brilliant. Yeah. So everybody else is kind of hearing the same thing that I was hearing too. So, what is up, Mr. Pirate Brain? He says, hey, what's up? But yeah, for all of you who are first timers here on the channel, by the way, and you're wondering what in the world's going on, I did explain that at the beginning of the stream. And if you want to go back and check some more of these live streams out, we normally have one of these once a month. Last month we had a live mix contest where we listened to some of the live mixes, but yeah, we covered that earlier. But if you are new here, thank you so much for showing up. You deserve a round of applause. All right. Let's see. Next up is Song for Mama. Song for Mamas, or Mama's Song, is the 8th track song from 𝗵𝗲 Aramaic album, Amharic album. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce half these words, which was released back in 2012 Ethiopian calendar. The album contained 8 English and 5 Amharic songs. This song is my special because it is for my mom. Love you, Mom. Oh, that's sweet. All right, let's check it out.
You brought me to this lane, me crying all alone. I thought I lost my way when I saw new face, new home. Then I learned how to love and to live this life alone. You took me on your shoulders till I learned things here more. Mama made this a little song for you. I won't ever know that our love must stay with you. I play a song for mamas when I miss my way home. Heavens above, they know I'll die without you. I know it is true, I'm not your only boy, but the way how you held me, I feel like I'm a throne. You never gave on me, though I love doing things wrong. I heard you pray for me that I did not deserve. Mama made this a little song for you. I want heaven to know that our love must stay with you. I play a song for mamas when I miss my way home. Heavens above, they know I'll die without you. She taught me how to be the best without showing off the shit to the rest. She gave me everything I need. She didn't think I lived when I was weak. She made things again, everything for me. And now it's time for payback, but I don't have much, and I don't know what to give. Before I hear her, she's gone. Alright.
Very cool. Okay. So I definitely sounded a little bit like the vocals were in a space all of their own. That seems to be sort of the prevailing thing that's happening today, is we got vocals that are just too present. Now, obviously you want vocals, especially in music where you want a message to be heard, you want the vocals to be heard. But you have to massage them into the mix enough to where it just sounds as if it was all recorded in the same room at the same time. That's sort of the magic of the studio, so to speak, is they make it sound as if, you know, this was the band playing together at the time. There were a lot of elements as well. I feel like the bass, there's been a lack of bass in pretty much all of these songs. Maybe I need to check my speakers. Maybe, am I the only one that's not hearing low end in these songs? This one definitely had some low end, but it wasn't there. Like it was just gone. And maybe it's because, you know, have you guys been watching some videos where some people are telling you to carve out 100 hertz on every single track? Just be honest, because wherever you're going, they're telling you the wrong thing. With that being said, great song, great feeling, and great emotion that was driving the song. I loved it. You can definitely tell that you you have an affinity for your mother. Nothing wrong with that. But with that being said, those are the main things that I would change. Is I would just try to get that vocal to nestle in there a little bit better and let that low end breathe, let it come up a little bit more. The separation of the rest of the instruments really didn't sound too bad. So good work on that. The next one is A Song for Peace and Freedom. And this is by RK Project. Yes. It says, the song came up to me at some point, and I also wanted to make a contribution to peace in our world. And then at some point, the song ID came to me. Of course, I'm assuming that meant idea came to me. Of course, everything I recorded on Logic 10, and I just wanted to upload it here with you. Greetings, Rolf Kesting. Okay, cool. So now we actually have the artist's name here. Let's give her a listen. Love the intro already. Very, very cool. And folks, we have bass. We have bass in a song. And might I say, it was some very smooth, creamy, dreamy bass. That was nice. Very well mixed, mastered, put together very well. I loved the intro. It was just the right length. I mean, honestly, this was just a really good submission. So congratulations once again. You nailed it. Knocked it out of the park. For the question that was asked earlier, by the way, thank you so much for tuning in from Johannesburg, South Africa. He says, how do submissions work? I'm assuming it's a he, maybe it's a she, maybe it's a, I don't know, maybe it's a robot, AI, taking over the world. But with that being said, I've covered that earlier in the live stream if you want to go back and check that out. Essentially, you can just go to my website, homestudiosimplified.com. Up at the very top of the page, you're going to see a link where it says monthly song contest. Here, I'll just pull that up so y'all can see that. Yep, so it's right here. Up at the very top of the screen. Monthly song contest. And you can just click on this and it'll go in here. This will give you the rundown of exactly what all it entails. And then from right here, you can actually submit the song itself. That'll take you to this form, which will also give you the rules. There's 6 rules, super easy to follow. Then you just answer these questions here. Yeah. Super simple. That's how you do her. Awesome. Okay, so what is up next? Do some more Bob Marley. You know, I might just do that. I got a couple of, well, I've got 3 in the oven right now, though. And for those of you that are here in the live stream, you're going to get dibs on what's coming. This is why it's important to show up to these live streams, guys. So the next one that's going to come out is going to be Boston's More Than a Feeling. And I got to tell you, it's epic. So Boston's More Than a Feeling, we're going to have some Elton John, Tiny Dancer, and we're going to have Queen Bohemian Rhapsody coming up next, as well as another Michael Jackson song. So if you're not subscribed, do it now. All right, next one is called Heartbreak Queen. Hey, everyone, he says, I wrote this song based off the lyrics I'd written in high school that are still ring true today. I dusted off my old lyric book from high school and went to work on this song. I played every instrument and sang it in a way that I've never sung before. I hope you all enjoy. Cool. And this is by an artist named Michael Hunt. Let's check it out. Very, very cool. Yet again, another great submission. You guys are not making this easy, okay? You're supposed to make this so easy that I just come in here and I'm like, oh yeah, clearly I know who I'm going to choose as a winner. But then I get submissions, like so far, every single one of these submissions could have been a winner. So you guys are nailing it. As far as this song, I feel like, at least to me, it seemed like now the vocals were just too buried. Like they could have been up just a little bit more. Luke Bay says there's a lot of unused headroom. Yes, that's kind of how I felt about it as well. Oh no, his internet went down. Kev Grisham says thanks, or says rather great track, cool song, 1950s meets 80s alternative. Very cool. Yeah. Yeah. And that was the next point that I was going to go to. So yet again, we're having this prevailing element here of people missing low end. Now, I know I do realize that, wow, I just sounded like Porky Pig there. I do realize that mixing low end is incredibly hard. It's hard to get it right, especially whenever you're in a less than professional space and you're trying to take into account for your room. Your headphones are telling you that it's too loud, but then you take it out of the car and it's not there. There's ways around that. But one of the things that I would implore you to do, if you haven't done it already, if you go to the website, and I'll take you back there again. If you go to the website, let me get this here off the screen. Okay. And you scroll down here to the bottom, I have a free cheat sheet here called Mixing Bass Simplified that's going to give you a better handle on exactly what you need to do in order to get that bass to set better in a mix without having to fight it so much. It's going to give you some real good, actionable, applicable, and all those other $5 words, some ways that you can actually get your bass to sound better in a mix. And I think sometimes what it is people don't add in the bass elements as loudly because they think, well, everywhere I'm going to play it, it's going to be over exaggerated because I'm so used to it being over exaggerated. But there is a way to where you can get it to where it sounds decent on a wide variety of sources. So it just takes a little bit of know-how, and that's what I'm here for. So now there are tracks, I'll be completely transparent with you. There are tracks when I go back and listen to it, I'm like, man, I didn't nail that bass. And that's why I'm saying it's a beast. And that's why in this PDF document that you can download from me, you will find that it says one of the things that I talk about is taming the bass beast. So with that being said, those were my main key points that I wanted to bring up about that particular mix. Let's move on now to Timothy Reynolds' song, Here Comes a Sunny Day. He says, I made myself a goal to write songs in June of 2022. This is one of 4 songs. I used Cakewalk, of course, Native Instruments SS88 and VST Instruments FX Contact, 𝗬𝗓𝗏, Native Instruments Electric Sunburst Nylon Picked Piano, the Maverick, etc., Addictive Drums, and the bass was a 𝗧𝗵𝗅. Nice. All right, let's give her a listen.
Here comes a sunny day, all our hopes will pray that we understand. Every good thing we have comes from your hand. Sun warms my face and hair, all the world is fair, lush and bountiful. Stay mindful of the true, the good, and beautiful. When eyes are sad, lonely or mad, please send your best. I've everything, so we softly, gently rest. When sunbeam skies up, all good things come from you. Father of lights above, showing love. Mystery to me, all your gifts are free, gifts of love so priceless. Friends and enemies, given all good things, show to us your gracious. When storms blow and dark lands fall through, lovingly you send morning mercies new. Oh, mystery to me, all your gifts are free, gifts of love so priceless. Friends and enemies, given all good things, show to us your gracious.
me. All your gifts are free, gifts of love so priceless. Friends and enemies, giving all good things, shows to us you're gracious. When I turn sad, lonely or mad, please send your best. Wipe every tear, so we softly, gently rest. Mystery to me, all your gifts are free, gifts of love so priceless. Friends and enemies, giving all good things, shows to us you're gracious. Mystery to me, all your gifts are free, gifts of love so priceless. Friends and enemies, giving all good things, show to us you're gracious.
Wow. Yeah, there was definitely a lot of potential with this song. So I loved the lyrical content as well as the background vocals, but I feel like the background vocals could have been brought up just a little bit more. There was a lot of automation that could have been done as well to make that all flow together better. The bass on this particular song was spot on, and to Luke Bass's point about the Heartbreak Queen, and that one really, you're right. According to that genre of music, it didn't need a lot of bass. So I really didn't even take that into account till after you brought that up. So good point. Back to this song. So I feel like there was a lot of timing issues in the song itself, which sort of threw me off at times. I feel like if the timing issues were fixed, that the rest of the song would kind of fall into place, and then just a little bit of vocal automation, even slapping on a vocal writer, would be a great point for that. But everything else really seemed like it was congealing very well. So I think once the vocals got in spec and then the timing issues got fixed, I really believe that the song would be amazing. I loved the guitar work. The guitar work was beautiful. So when that first guitar came in for it was like a solo type interlude thing, the tone on that was just spot on. So yeah, that's my sort of constructive criticism for this. So good work. All right, what is up next? Up next is Barry Fitzgerald's Coming Home. It says, not my usual type of song submission. This song has only acoustic guitar and vocals, kind of whimsical feel to it. Well, if it's like any of your previous song submissions, I'm sure we're in for a treat, so let's check it.
I don't know when I'm coming home, but I changed my point of view. I've been 100 places, seen 1,000 faces, none that compare with you. It's been a while since I saw your smile, it's right there in my mind. And leaving you for someone new, how could I be so blind? Tell me you still love me, you're still thinking of me. Tell me that you hold me tight. Every night you haunt me, so tell me you still want me, and maybe we can get it right. I know that I was wrong and it's been too long. I threw your love away. I was a fool to leave, baby, please believe I missed you every day. Lonely days and lonely nights, I think I've had my fill. I hear your voice in every dream, I guess I always will. voices, none that compare with you. So tell me you still love me, you're still thinking of me. Tell me that you hold me tight. Every night you haunt me, so tell me you still want me, and maybe we can get it right.
Very cool. Very cool. With this song just being very sparsely populated, I was noticing, as Luke Bass just pointed out, he says there's a few annoying frequencies around 100 to 200. It was definitely the 200. I was hearing it myself. It even extends up to 250, I believe. And then there's also this sort of 1K or 7K range. I think if you took that out, and then just a little bit of debrightening. But just these few little EQ moves right here really brought it into up to speed. I'll take those off now though. But that's really the only thing that I would have done differently on the song. And the song's great. I love the feel of that, man. You've got such a good feel for music. Very cool. I love the song. 𝗧𝗵𝗲 says, love it. Maybe less reverb on the guitar. I'm not sure. Yeah, that's one of those stylistic things. Maybe he wanted it on there too. I don't know. Ooh, yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, good call, Ryan. That would be cool. Very, very cool. You guys always have some awesome comments. All right, moving right along. We will more than likely have to split this song contest up after this one. I do have my first Rocket Fuel Bundle session today at 2. Speaking of which, if you're wondering what in the world is he talking about? So the Rocket Fuel Bundle is, it's only open like maybe 2 to 3 times out of the year. And this is essentially just a full-blown, like 5 Skype session group, like group Skypes, where it's like, it's very involved, so to speak. So with that being said, it's one of those things where you can't just like jump on and expect to, you know, take off running. But the reason why I have these is because the song itself, or how am I going to put this? So the process of producing music, there we go, I'll get it out here in a minute, is usually, it takes a very long time to do this. And it takes you a long time to wrap your head around how to get from point A to point B. Now, what the entire purpose of the Rocket Fuel Bundle is to get you setting down and making music so much faster. Okay. Essentially, I mean, we've had individuals that started this by the 3rd session. They had wrote their first song, released their first song ever. We got other individuals that picked up on all of the nuances of it, really took off running, and they ended up, one individual said he was struggling to write 1 to 3 songs every 3 months, something like that. He wrote 5 songs in the course of the first 2 sessions. So he had already picked up enough of that. And what it does is we start out with the basics, and we go through exactly like everything that you need to do to set up and prepare for a session to have your best foot forward. And then from there, we start breaking down ways where you can shave off hours of time so that whenever you sit down to do what you love, you can get more accomplished. And it literally is more than just a bundle. So I call it a bundle though, because you get my Compression Simplified course, my Ultimate Cakewalk by BandLab tutorial course, which even if you don't use Cakewalk, it still has a 10 module mixing course that's built into it with multi-tracks. So regardless of whatever DAW that you're using, you can actually use this course and learn a ton from it. Then if you want to later jump on Cakewalk by BandLab, the other 10 modules will show you exactly how to use that free DAW, the one that I'm using here today. I also have a Creating a Song Step-by-Step 2.0. This is not the free one that's on the front page. This is the paid version. This comes with multi-tracks as well for you to mix together. And it also takes you from point A to point B all the way through the entire the ideation process, writing the lyrics, putting it all down. And yes, it does have homework, but it's the fun kind, I promise. DJ. You also get an EQ cheat sheet, my Cakewalk Pro Start template, my 15-step mixing guide, PDF guides for every single module of the Cakewalk course, 5 video conference calls. You get a song collaboration opportunity if I have time. I'll just throw that out there. And for signing up, you also get a free 30-day trial of the VIP membership. So if you want to check this out, the link is in the chat right now. It's pinned at the very top. You can go and reserve your spot now. It's super cool. If you can't make a session, those sessions are always recorded, so you can always go back to them if you miss one. And by missing a session, it's not like you're missing out on anything major. You're just missing out on question time. We have like a Q&A for usually about 10 to 30 minutes. But even if you miss those sessions and you have questions, you can always write those down and ask them the next session. And even if it's the very last session, you can always email me and ask those questions as well. And I will always make sure to follow up, especially with my Rocket Fuel members. So there's some FAQs here at the bottom that will give you a good understanding of exactly what it is. This is the page that you'll be taken to if you click that link that I was talking about. And there's also payment options. So I realized that with COVID and everything else that's hit people, I'm feeling the crunch myself. It's not a lot of times easy to find the money to invest into your dreams. But what I hope to do is by providing payment plans, you'll be able to still do this and still make the rest of your bills and your budgets, so you can do both. All right. We're going to listen to this one more song here, and we will call it a day, as I will be hopping on with the Rocket Fuel Bundle members. So the next one is called Okay, so the next one was Paul Jansen's entry for the HSS July Mix Contest. So I've kind of already know what this song is going to sound like, but he wanted to submit it so that I could actually critique his mix, which is fine. But going forward in the future, I am going to prohibit this just simply because I don't want 50 more submissions of people with the same song and us having to listen to the same song over and over again. Because just to be perfectly honest, right now at this point, I've heard this song about as much as I want to. But we will listen to it again here, and I will give you your feedback, Paul. So thank you so much for entering the contest. I'm going to turn this up a little bit here.
Walk out into this silent midnight. I look up at a lone star that lights up this dark sky. Right here and now, the feelings overtaking me. To be rid of indifference and the troubles that plagued me. And though to be it's strange, it seems my fate has changed course. And everything that used to matter don't make sense anymore. 'Cause many years ago there was a one-man soul who walked the same dirt I now stand upon. And all the love he gave, all the souls he saved. Are we too blind? Are we too blind to embrace? Take a look at the world outside tonight. All is at peace. Shake the bones from within your own skin. Wake up your soul. 'Cause I don't need a magic show or a miracle to help me see the light. I can
Okay, definitely liked the extra elements there of the piano that you sort of sprinkled in there. The mix itself was lacking a lot of bass. The drums were overcompressed way too much. Although I love the smack of the snare, I feel like the overcompression, if you would have just created like a parallel compression track, heavily compressed that track and then blended it back into the original drums, sort of more dry and dynamic, it would have really sold the effect a little bit better. I like what Luke has said here in the chat. He says, mix with your feeling and don't think too technical. That's really what I feel like kind of happened here. But, you know, it could be also listening environments, things like that. However, you did do a really good job with balancing out the majority of the elements because there's a lot of stuff going on here. The electric guitar seemed to be a little bit overbearing at times, and the background vocals, instead of being sort of a supportive element, they seem to take precedence from time to time. Other than that, I really think it's just sort of a hearing problem as far as like it might be the headphones or the room that you're listening in, because it's probably lying to you. Maybe this sounded like it should have in your space, but then whenever you export that out and you send it off to someone else, myself or someone else, all of these things start to become more apparent. So don't give up. You're doing a really good job, especially mixing this many elements. I know, and yes, DJ, that guitar player, man, that lead guitar player, I don't know what he was thinking. That guy must have been smoking some crack that day. What was he doing? You know, I mean, and I'm only saying that because it was me. And I would never, ever say anything like that about anybody's work here on the channel. This has always been a safe place for you guys to come. But I'm only saying that because that was me that did the lead guitar. In fact, the artist, when he came in the studio, we've talked about this before here on the channel, but he literally only had an idea. So he had his guitar and his vocals, and that was it. And he said, I want to record a song. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. We recorded the song, and after listening to the song, I was like, I would really like to produce this song. And this was like a new thing to him. He was like, produce, what do you mean? To the best of my knowledge, I don't even think he honestly knew what all that entailed, but I said, you've got guitar and you've got vocals and it sounds great in and of itself, but can I lay down a bass track? Can I lay down an electric guitar track, or a couple, or three in this case, I believe? Or, can I put some drums behind it? And he was like, yeah, sure, go for it. He said, but if I don't like it, can we go back? I was like, yeah, absolutely. Nothing is set in stone. So I went off on a tangent for about two weeks to a month of just adding various elements here and there, and really trying to get a grip on what feel that I was hearing from the song, all the while like approaching this with baby steps, asking him, is it okay if I make this a little rockier? Is it okay? And he was like, yeah, sure. Like basically just gave me creative freedom. And so yeah, I took that creative liberty and just said, all right, I'm going to do a bunch of stuff to this. And that's what turned out. So, and that was actually the July mix contest. So if you were not a part of the July mix contest, my apologies, you should have been. You would have got access to those multi-tracks. If you become a VIP member, you will get access to those multi-tracks as well, to where you can mix that song for yourself and add it to your portfolio. So that's going to be all that we're going to do for today. We will pick this back up maybe here in a couple weeks or something like that. Maybe even next week. I'm not sure yet, depending on what my calendar looks like. Right now, I got to really hustle in order to get these bills paid. So I got to find some side job or do something, work another. I mean, I already work a full-time job and I do this, but now I'm thinking I got to find a side job. But with that being said, really appreciate you guys showing up. I can't get my tongue to follow my lips today. My brain's moving faster than the rest of my body. Really appreciate you guys showing up and being supportive of the artists that have submitted their work today. Great job, by the way, on all the artists that have submitted your music. I know it's very hard sometimes to put a song out there and you're thinking, what in the world, what's going to be said, what's going to be done. But in all honesty, this is a safe place where you can submit your music and just get some good, honest feedback, some good constructive criticism. So with that being said, until next time, guys. Oh, wait a minute. What's that I hear? I hear the footsteps of a 𝗧𝗵𝗲 𝗪𝗀. Ladies and gentlemen, let's spin the wheel of awesomeness. That's right, Robert. We can't get out of here without spinning the wheel, you idiot. Casey, what are you doing? Every time you take the microphone, you start calling me names. I mean, seriously, nobody thinks it's fun. Well, okay, about everybody thinks it's funny, but stop. We're getting tired of it, Casey. All right, well, I'm taking the mic back because Casey, he's lit. He's on fire again. He's all the time coming in here and give me the wheel of awesomeness. That's right, I'm 𝗧𝗵𝗲 𝗪𝗀. I've taken over. I've shoved Robert out of the way, and now I'm going to take over the wheel and spin that bad boy. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Whatever this lands on, that's what we're going to do. Yes, a little known fact. I guess Robert's going to have to come back and give us a little known fact, as if we really care about that as his life that much. I mean, come on, Robert. Nobody cares. Robert, what do you... Sorry, guys. Every time... I just need to fire Casey, I think. If you want me to fire Casey, leave a 1 in the chat right now. If you think he should stick around, leave a 2 in the chat. I don't know what this guy's doing. My goodness. Yes, Herky, we will touch back on the remaining songs probably next. I would like to say next week, but don't hold me to that. Probably next Wednesday or Thursday. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and talk about a little known fact today before we end this out. So a little known fact about me is I actually helped to finish a skate park here in my hometown of Seymour, Indiana. There was a skate park here locally that was not finished. It had been 10 years since it had been finished. In fact, it was kind of crazy. I was taking my son to go play basketball at Shields Park. This is just right down the road from us. And Mark, he says 3. We were playing basketball and I kept hearing this clanking of what I knew to be skateboards. I was a skater whenever I was younger. I got some pictures actually to prove that. But I was like, what is that noise? So I told my son, I was like, hey, we're gonna go check this out. I'm pretty sure there's a skate park over here. So with that being said, I walked over the hill and to my surprise, yes, there was in fact an awesome skate park. I'm trying to pull up some pictures here so you guys can actually see this, if I can spell. So yeah, we walked over there that day and I was like, oh, this is cool. Can't believe that there's a skate park here. And I was like, man, this is awesome, guys. Now, if you look on the screen here, let me pull up. No, not that one either. This one, Robert. Okay, so this is what the park looked like when I first walked up. It was just this portion right here. Okay, nothing really going on. Actually, this would probably be a better. We came over one day and me and my son in the skate park was covered in grass clippings from the city, which forced me to start the hashtag respect the park. But this is what they had to begin with. So it was just a grass lot, basically a slab of concrete, and just a couple of things here you could do tricks on. Here's my son skateboarding. But as I began to talk to these young people, I noticed something. They were just all very downtrodden, downcast, dejected. I was like, what's wrong? And they were like, this park's not finished. And I was like, what do you mean it's not finished? In which case they told me that the park itself was actually only half or a third of the way complete. So the city had promised them to get this entire park finished, and they stopped after phase 2 was done and said they would not fund it anymore. Well, this got me upset. I was like, what is going on here? Why is the city not finishing it? Well, then I find out that the park itself was also a memorial skate park. There was 2 young kids in the city, Todd Sherman and Zach Grubb, which is why it's the 𝗧𝗵𝗲 Memorial Skate Park. These 2 kids had passed away. They got hit on their bicycles, and this was a memorial that they were going to build in memory of them. And the city at first was like, great, it'll keep you guys off of the stuff in the city. It'll keep you, doing something constructive with your lives and basically staying out of our hair. And so this was what the park had initially looked like. There's my son. Man, he was young there. And so I was infuriated. I was like, why is this park not finished then? If this is supposed to be a memorial skate park, why is it not finished? So I approached the board here at the city, talked to the director of the parks, the park and recreational director, and I said, why is this skate park not finished? I went in there in kind of like a blazer and a button-up shirt, and I said, I'm here to represent the skate kids. I want to know why this park isn't finished. And he was like, well, you're the first one that's ever come into the park and talked about the park in a long time. We just haven't had enough involvement from the community. And that even fired me up even more. I was like, if you guys made a promise and you didn't fulfill it, you don't need involvement from the community. You just need to fulfill your promise. So, and I dealt with this stuff whenever I was a young little curb squirrel, as we used to call ourselves, a little skate rat. And because of the way that we looked, the way that we dressed, the way that we presented ourselves, we were always seen to be like as a refuse, as just little punk kids. And for the most part, yes, we were punk kids, but we still had feelings and we still wanted to be accepted, especially by our city. But everywhere we went, we always were getting kicked out of places, and we were just treated like junk. So I left the office that day and I said, whenever I leave this office, you will see more involvement about this park than you ever have. And he laughed at me, literally laughed in my face. He's like, oh, okay. A little smug laugh of his. Anyway, I left that day. I started this Facebook page, which was Finish the Park Initiative. I then went on to start a YouTube channel for the Finish the Park Initiative. Okay. And on this YouTube channel, which it's still up, you can go back and see it. What we did is I went down and just to give you sort of the whole backstory here, I started here's the day that I went and talked to him. So yeah, I went and started a YouTube channel. Where's it at? Yeah, here's the former parks director, by the way. This was after a much long fight that we had. Not physical fight or even verbal fight. It was just, we were fighting to get funds released from our own city for this park that they said they would finish. But as you can see, there was a ton of work that needed to be done. So literally what we did is, let me see if I can find that YouTube channel real quick, because I have since passed it on to the young people that are actually over that park now. Yeah, this ain't going to be, oh, here it is. Okay, so I started this YouTube channel, not got a lot of subscribers. That wasn't the point of it though. The point of this was to get involvement from the community. So we started sharing these videos, and what I did is I went down to the skate park once a week, sometimes 2 times a week, and I interviewed every one of these young people that frequent the skate park. And I asked them certain questions, like, what does this park mean to you? What would it mean for you for this park to be finished? And the responses
Forget your expensive
were
electric bills
overwhelming.
and do this instead.
Had a
Go
lot of
solar
kids
with Pink Energy and
that
get
were
paid
saying,
over
this is like
$2,000 to
a
install the
therapeutic
newest
thing for
generation.
them. I know there's a lot of, and they needed this park to be done just for therapy reasons. And I totally get that. When you're mad, you've had a bad day at school, you want to go down to the skate park and get your energy out in such a way to where it's not, It's not doing drugs. It's not beating up people. And so this was sort of a compilation of all the responses I got. Check this out. I know there's a lot of fundraising efforts that are being done to try to finish the park. What would it personally mean to you to see this park finished?
To be finished would be like the dream come true, really. Not just like our dream, but you know, like Todd and Zach's dream. Like everybody, skateboarders all around the community that used to skate or still skate. Like that's always been the dream since like.
What would it personally mean to you to see the completion of the park actually be completed?
Oh, it would mean like the world to not just us as like a skate community. It would mean more to the people who passed away, and it would just be nice to see everything get put together, and
right.
It would be a dream come true for sure.
What would it mean to you personally to see this park completed?
I just feel like 𝗬𝗵𝗲, they understood like that. This means something to us.
So what would it mean to you to see the 𝗬𝗵𝗲 Memorial Skate Park in completion?
It would be amazing because then we'd have like more to practice on and stuff like that.
So what would it mean to you personally to see this park completed?
It'd be a dream. The dream come true. That's what I think.
That's like single-handedly every single person.
That's what I picture every time. Every time I think about the park.
What would it personally mean to you as an individual to see the skate park completed?
Personally, I would be really happy.
What would it mean to you if you could come down here and you would see this park completely finished? What would that mean to you?
It would mean everything. It'd be better because I love spacious things.
A lot more room.
It needs a lot more room.
What would it personally mean to you to actually see this skate park come to fruition like its full completed state?
Like, it would mean so much, just from all the hard work that I've put in, all my friends have put in, people I don't even know have put in, you know, and just to see it take form, you know, like come to fruition, it would just be like a dream come true, you know.
So I'm sure, as we've already discussed, you've seen the plans for the completed park. What would it mean for you to personally see that park come to completion?
It would mean the completion of a dream for especially those two guys that had to, like, it was sad that it took the two passing away for them to actually start the park, but it would mean the completion of their dream, which would mean a lot to me personally, because that's what we've been pushing for as a community, to get those two, like, to finish what those two guys started. That would mean a lot for us and everybody in our community.
So this is what the park was supposed to look like if the city would have followed through with their plans. Now, what happened is, obviously the city did not follow through with their plans. So what I did is I took this a step farther. I started going around to local businesses and I started saying, hey, you guys, will you help us get this park completed? I had like business cards made up. We told them all about the backstory of the park. A lot of people here in town didn't even know that this park wasn't completed. They were under the assumption that it was completed. So then we started making up shirts. We started creating, here's the cards right here. This got my son into skateboarding again. It got me into skateboarding again, believe it or not. And here we are at a local chiropractor clinic, Carly Clay. She actually was the first to donate in the Platinum. And then the city got together and started putting together some kickball leagues. And this wasn't the current mayor. This was our previous mayor. And then local bike shop owner, Matt Nicholson, he let us put a can in there. In fact, he had been trying to get this park finished forever himself. And just with work and him trying to run for mayor, it never was able to happen. But he actually ran a shop called Bikes to Boards. And so he was all about the skate community. Come to find out, happy story, happy ending to the story. A year later, we had all of the funds, over $100,000 raised. We had all of the funds raised. We had got these kids involved in the community. We had got each and every one of these kids involved in fundraising of their own. And now they have a completely finished park, an amazing, amazing skate park that they can now in fact, if I go to the 𝗵𝗵𝗲 Memorial Skate Park page, yeah, here we are. This should actually show you. So this is the completed. We're having a game of skate soon. That's cool. And these kids are good, by the way. I'm not talking like they're kind of good. I'm talking like they are good. So check this out. This is their YouTube channel. Well, this is one of the individuals that skates down there. This is his YouTube channel. Turn that music down before I get copyright strikes. This is actually an older video. You can see the park wasn't even completed here yet. But yeah, a year later, here's the park now. It's got a quarter pipe. It's got a little bit of a wall ride here. It's got stairs, rails. I mean, it's definitely a lot better than it was. And it wasn't just anything that I did in and of myself. This was all of the kids themselves too, like working together to make sure that this would get done. If you want to check out their actual channel, it's SSR Films. You can check it out here. Yeah, this has a lot of their actual skate videos, and some of their stuff that they're doing, man, I'm telling you, it's like, so here's one from 2 weeks ago. This one should actually give you a good indication of how the park looks now that it's finished. I'm not sure if there's music, so I'm not really turning it up right now. But yeah, here is and that's the other cool thing, like these young people are actually taking other young people under the wing now and helping them learn how to skateboard. So here's the completed. Yeah, now you can see sort of the full. So yeah, this was a passion project. We ended up all rallying together and getting this finished in a year's time. They said we'd never do it. We had people laugh in our face. They said, you'll never get it completed. I got in touch with a person that I knew, a contact from Hunger Skate Parks. They came down, gave them a quote that was like $80,000 less than what they were actually quoted for by the city, because they were going to use their buddies, of course, and some good old boys stuff going on. So we got them a lower quote. We got the park completed. Everybody was happy. I mean, look at these guys. They are they're a great group of young people, and this is just what they like to do in their spare time. As you can see, they're not hurting nobody. They're not doing anything wrong. They're exercising outside. They're having a good time doing it. And I'd have a video somewhere of me trying to get my skate tricks back, but we don't need to see that. But yeah, some little known fact yet again is I actually helped to complete a skate park here in our local city and helped to honestly make a dream come true for a bunch of young people. And I'm looking forward to seeing some of these young people really move forward and start taking action themselves. And if anything, they learned, like, don't just take no for an answer. You know, get out there and make it happen. If it's not happening, make it happen. So that's our little known fact today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. There's so much more to the story than this, but I'm going to cut it off now as time is getting away from me. But I want to let you guys know that I'm sorry, I'm getting stuck on their tricks here. And some of these guys have only been skating for like a couple weeks. Now, if you guys have never done any skateboarding, You do not know exactly how it feels when you land a trick like that, how much of a boost that gives you to your confidence. And this is a great way for them to get a boost in their confidence. So if you would, use that link that I just posted, go subscribe to them and let them know that I sent you. All you have to do is just simply say, hey, I'm here from Home Studio Simplified, or Robert McClellan sent me. You know, keep up the good work, guys, or something like that. I'd love for you guys to go and help their channel out. They're sitting at, what is it, 459 subs right now. Let's get that up to 1,000. Let's do that.
6 extra natties. Oh, really? Dude.
All right. Well, until next time, guys, remember, we can dream alone. We can even create alone, but together we can achieve so much more. God bless you guys.